Hey guys, I know it's been quite a while since I made a video. Been pretty busy lately. Moved to Europe a little bit. Not quite moved to Europe, but been doing some traveling and for my work and my job. So that's brought me to Europe, and I've been moving from country to country, working, saving up, and just experiencing the European life. Right now I'm a little bit sick. That's why I'm talking like this. Actually, yesterday was my birthday and I was sick on my birthday, so that's fun. I guess it's not really affecting me too much. It's just like I'm trying to not let it bring my energy levels down too much. And the nature of the sickness itself is it's hard on your body, right? So it's just like trying to balance out your energy levels even though you have something afflicting your body, you know. Everything is good. It's nothing serious. I just have a cold and I think a little bit of like bronchitis, which I've never had before. So that's super weird. I'm dealing with it. As you can see behind me, I have my little Devi Goody and some pictures. If you are familiar with the Isha, you probably know what this is. If not, then it's like a consecrated energy form that you can bring with you anywhere, and it's supposed to impact the atmosphere of whatever space you live in, whatever space you inhabit, and just create a more conducive environment for well-being and doing yogic practices. But yeah, it's been a while since I made my last video. It's been eventful, but not eventful at the same time. I think since the last time I made a video, I spent about a year at the ashram in Tennessee, Isha, USA. If you're not familiar, it's called Isha Institute of Inner Sciences, and that was really beneficial. Every time I go there, it's like very transformative experience, and the time that you invest there, it's so worth it. You know, even if you're not, making money or you're not contributing to your career life or your career goals, it's still good, because I think you as an individual come first, and all the outside external activities it's going to be a reflection of how you are. So making yourself into a greater possibility, a better human being, I think that's most important, and that's first and foremost with anything, because if you're a quality human being, you're going to put quality work, quality emotion, quality action out into the world, and that's definitely needed. Yeah, every time I go there, it's super worth it to me. I don't think I'll be there for quite a while now, because since I was about 19, 20, I've been going there, going out, spending time volunteering at the ashram, spending time out, but most of my time has been in the ashram for the most part. And I kind of think it's time for me to focus more on my external situation, more things like career path, financial security, all that. And that's something I never really thought was that important. And I still don't really think it's important to a certain extent, but I don't think it's everything. And I kind of had an allergy to it at first, or an aversion to it, because I know it's not everything, so I didn't really put almost any effort towards it. Really, I put zero effort towards it. I was just focused on like my inner realities, my inner experience, my inner path and stuff like that. And so I kind of put that on the back. I put my career and like my job stuff on the back burner, and I just focused on myself, because I had a lot of stuff to fix within myself before I even wanted to go out in the world and like try to do something. So now I'm traveling for my job. I'm in Europe. I would have never thought I would be like traveling for my job and having this type of opportunity. So I'm just trying to make the best of it. Again, I don't think it's like the best thing in the world. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. It's just like, it is what it is, and it's a good opportunity, and it has the benefit of what it is. You get money for what you're doing, and at the same time you can see new places and stuff like that. So I'm kind of seeing it like that. It's hard to really explain, because I can't say anything really excites me about career prospects. Like, I've never been the one to have like huge ambitions and huge desires about what I wanted to do in the world, which is weird to me because you're in a society that constantly tells you that you need to have those things, and I just never had that naturally. So I'm like in a position where I'm trying to, take care of the survival aspects of life, and also like go beyond and like push beyond just the boundary of survival to where like I can set up a financial future to where I don't have to work 24/7, you know what I mean? So I can have time to do other things that I might see as important too, more exploratory activities, more things that will contribute to my own transformation. So it's just a weird place for me. I mean, I just turned 25 yesterday, and I still feel like I don't know. I don't feel like a 25-year-old. I feel like I can't say I feel like an age at all. I feel like the same as when I was maybe 10 years old in a way. I don't know, that might sound weird. I don't think I'm immature. I just think I'm not like, growing up like an adult is supposed to, which I'm fine with, because I think most people when they grow up they get stiff and stressed out, and they start hating their life and the mundane day-to-day activities that they have to do. In a way, I'm very much still childlike in a way, but I wouldn't say I'm immature, if I can safely say that. Somebody else may be the judge of that, but for myself, I would say I'm reasonably mature for my age. Yeah, it's just like, I know there's going to be a certain amount of time that I need to invest in securing financial aspects. There's going to be a certain amount of time I need to invest in keeping up with my spiritual path, my spiritual transformation. And that's been a struggle for me because like I've been so preoccupied with other things that I've been kind of letting my spiritual practices take the back burner sometimes. Like most days I will do it, but there are some days where I might create an excuse like, oh, I'm tired, or oh, I need to go to work pretty soon, so I don't want to make that the time that it takes to do the practices be too close to like leaving out the door. I want time to myself or whatever, which is contradictory because the time that you're doing your practice, that is time with yourself, like truthfully, totally with yourself, not distracted by anything else externally, just yourself and whatever nonsense you got going on in your mind. So yeah, I see some days like I'm really making excuses for myself, and it doesn't help me. Like when I do make those excuses, I'm not feeling better throughout the day. It's just like you're BSing yourself, so you're not having to do an extra thing that you normally do, so you feel like you have more time, but you don't really have quality time to yourself. It's just like buffer time. You can only really relate with this if you do some type of sadhana practice, specifically yogic practices. I feel like those people that do a consistent yogic practice every day can relate to what I'm saying, because the days that you do your yoga and the days that you don't are two completely different feelings. When you do your practice, you feel a certain clarity, a certain like purification throughout the day. When you don't do it, it's like everything is kind of blurry. You're not that clear in your mind or the way you see things. It's just going on with your day mechanically almost. It's like a compulsive way of going on about your day. Whereas when I do my practice, I can see I'm a lot more conscious and aware of the decisions that I make and the things that I do and why I'm doing certain things, how I'm doing certain things throughout the day. So it's important to set that ambiance first before I go in the world and start doing actions and doing certain things, or even if I'm just alone at home by myself. It's important to be aware of myself, my state throughout the day, and what's going on in my mind and what's going on with my emotions and all that. So yeah, I'm just trying to cut out the excuses. You know, I make a lot of excuses sometimes. It's not helping me get anywhere. It's not helping me clear up whatever things I have inside of myself that I want to clear up, you know? So I've been thinking about putting out a video for a long time. It just hasn't happened because I have a certain anxiety about doing these videos before I do them. Like if I'm not completely sure that I'm in a good state, I'm bringing good energy, you know, the content's gonna be good, it's gonna be up to my own like critique. I put a lot of barriers on myself. Like one of the things is I've never been a super social person. Like I won't talk to anybody unless it's needed, absolutely needed for like work or a certain function that needs to happen. But I will never just socially chit chat for the sake of chit chatting, you know, not out of my own like initiative. If someone comes to me, I'll totally play the part, but I will never seek it out first, you know. So I guess I am a bit introverted in a way, if you want to put a label on it. So that's what kind of like stops me from doing these type of things too, because I feel like I need to be a certain like sociable person in order for people to relate or to even be excuse me, somewhat entertained. And I just realized like, no, it's probably better I just be myself, you know, how I am, how I'm feeling in that moment, because if I'm putting on a certain act, I feel like you guys are gonna definitely know, and it's not gonna come off genuine. So it's not even worth trying to like craft a certain personality of like being this socialite entertainer type of guy when that's naturally not who I am. So I'm just, you know, and I do have certain anxiety in social situations sometimes, only because, not because I'm scared of what people are gonna think or like how I look to other people. It's just like, I guess in a way, yeah, I guess that's not true. I guess a little bit I am a little bit worried, only because I don't want people to think I'm not talking or socializing as much because I don't like them, right? Or because I'm trying to be rude. I honestly just want them to understand that I'm not a social person. I'm not as much of a social person. I don't like to talk as much. I can acknowledge you silently and feel pleasant towards you without having to, you know, chit chat or make up some banter or make up some type of conversation just for the sake of making conversation, you know. I guess that's one of those things I wish we as like a species, or at least as a society, we kind of understood, like we don't necessarily need to talk all the time to be on the same level of understanding. Like I can give you a look, you can give me a look, and we know what each other is feeling, you know, we know what we're trying to express. So yeah, it's just I don't know, I have a lot of, I guess I'm in my own world a lot, and by my own world I mean like I'm constantly observing myself, observing things and how they're done, observing how I do things, observing how I interact with people. I think I sometimes maybe even overanalyze myself. I think a healthy level of analysis is important for every human being, you know, self-analysis. But I could potentially be overdoing it. I don't know. It's hard to draw that line, you know. There is some days where I'm like, man, I'm really overthinking every single thing. Before I even commit an action, I'll think about it so much before I do it, to where like I'm working up a certain feeling about it before I actually do it. And sometimes that works to my benefit, sometimes that works to my detriment, because you can be paralyzed by how much you analyze something. If you're working up a lot of anxiety about something, then the chances of you doing something that's working up that anxiety is going to be low. I think I do that a lot. I think I overanalyze, and I think of all the things that can go wrong and all the things that can go right, but I think I focus more on like the wrong, and that's what stops me from doing something that I might not have done before, something outside of my comfort zone. So I think it's a complex issue for me. I've always, like, even before yoga, and it's gotten a lot better with yoga for sure. It's like night and day. Before yoga, I was very socially anxious, very like standoffish in public situations, always in my mind, always like kind of having a certain fear about doing something if I wasn't sure I could do it in the best way or in a good way to my own level of critique or judgment. And I think that used to really stop me from doing a lot of things in my life. It used to like almost handicap me in a way, because I would just get so stuck in my mind about doing something that I would never even attempt it. So now it's like, after I started doing yoga, after I started doing Kriya yoga and meditation and Shunya, that's gotten way better. Like, I'm a completely different person, completely. And I'm not just trying to exaggerate. I'm totally different. If you ask anybody who's known me before I started doing this yoga, they'd say, yeah, that was a totally different Koran. Now I'm like, you know, a lot of things I've freed myself of, but there are things that, you know, I'm not totally free. Like, there's still things that I have huge limitations on. And I think the anxiety is still something that kind of lingers here and there if I'm not totally conscious. Like, especially if I don't do, like I was saying earlier, if I don't do my practices, if I don't do my sadhana before, if I don't take a time to like look within myself and introspect and do some pranayama or some shunya, I will very much get caught up in my mental process, and you know, I will not be conscious of like using my mind and leaving my mind when it needs to be left, you know, associating with my mind when I need to, putting it aside when I need to. So yeah, that's still something that I'm working on. That's something that like feels one of my biggest limitations. It's just staying conscious, I think, because when I'm conscious of what I'm doing to myself, I can stop it right then and there. I can see like, oh, this is stupid. I'm overthinking this. I'm imagining a lot of things that haven't even happened, and what could happen. And I'm able to like put a stop to that and just like leave it and do what I need to do. But when I'm not conscious, when I'm not aware or alert of what's going on inside of myself, I can very easily get caught up and follow the same patterns I used to in the past. I think it's very important. I think it's important for every human being to have some level of introspection, some level of spiritual exploration. You don't even have to call it spiritual, just something that where you're inquiring about yourself, your inner nature, your inner reality, you know, some level of clarifying that's happening on the inside. Because if you don't clarify anything, if you're not clear about anything in your life, it'll just be like, and everything is blurred. You don't know where you're going. You're kind of just doing action, not really knowing where it will lead, or having any clear intention or execution behind it. Yeah, but anyway, this video is going on 22 minutes already. Oh my god. It doesn't feel like I've been talking that long, but I guess that's good. I feel like I've covered quite a bit, at least with myself, my updates on my life, and kind of just how I'm feeling with things. Let me know what you guys are feeling, if you can relate to any of this, or if you disagree, that's fine too. I'm always open to new ideas and trying to see things from different perspectives, because I don't believe that I have the clearest perspective on how I see things right now. I feel I personally have a lot of work to do. So let me know, guys. Like I said, I'm sick, so sorry if my voice sounds weird and all the sniffling. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna try to be more consistent. No guarantees though. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.